Android has a checkered history with tablets, and even with the launch of the new Pixel tablet, there's a story to tell. Previewed at Google I/O 2022, it was a full year before the tablet was officially launched, suggesting that Google wanted this tablet to be something special. This comes on the back of unceremoniously stepping away from tablets in 2019, just before the pandemic made tablets a must-have device for many. It's impossible to avoid comparisons to Apple's iPad, which has dominated the premium tablet space for many years, into which Google now steps. So does Google offer anything unique in this tablet, and is it worth getting excited about? The Google Pixel tablet feels solid enough when you pick it up, with a nice quality to the rear of the tablet. Google describes this as a nano-ceramic coating, designed to feel a little like porcelain. There's certainly a smoothness to it that I like. It feels higher quality than something like the Fire HD 10 tablet from Amazon, although the looks are similar. At 493 grams, the Pixel tablet is a little heavier than the Apple iPad, although I don't think it feels as premium. However, I prefer the curves to the edges of the rear of the Pixel tablet over Apple's squared finish. It's just nicer if you end up holding it in bed for any prolonged period of time. There are 4 speakers around the body of the Pixel tablet designed to make the audio a little more immersive, but what they lack is any sort of appreciable bass. They're a little lacking on their own. Of course, there's the charging speaker dock, which I'll talk about later, but naturally that gives the Pixel tablet a substantial boost. There's a fingerprint sensor built into the power button on the side of the tablet, and this makes it pretty simple to unlock with a tap. It seems a bit strange that there's no face unlocking as found on recent Pixel phones though, as this would streamline access to the device. Before I go much further, I want to talk about the charging speaker dock. At the launch of the Pixel tablet, this accessory comes in the box, and that's partly responsible for its $499, a £599 asking price. Consider, however, that the charging speaker dock will cost $129, a £139 as a standalone accessory, and I'm sure that the Pixel tablet will be available for less without it at some point in the future, and it should be, because on its own, the tablet feels overpriced. The charging speaker dock is wrapped in fabric, has a rubberized base and 4 charging pins to match the contact points on the tablet's rear, while also being loaded with magnets so that the two halves stick together. Using the charging speaker dock is a seamless action. It docks well thanks to those magnets and seems plenty secure, although knock it hard on the top and the tablet will disconnect and drop off. There's no pairing to be done either, so no need to worry about Bluetooth or anything else. It just works. The charging speaker dock sounds pretty good. It adds a richness to the audio thanks to the 43.5mm driver, so watching a movie or listening to your favorite tracks is a better experience than the tablet alone. It's not quite as solid as the Echo Show 10, for example, which I think has richer overall sound. What's interesting is that all the audio is transferred to the charging speaker dock when the tablet is docked. It doesn't use the tablet's own speakers at all. The charging has also been optimized. The tablet only ever charges to 90% on the dock to maintain battery health, and it has a 15 watts charging rate. The Pixel tablet has an LCD display rather than a OLED one, which you'd find on the likes of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus, although LCD is still typical for tablets at this price point. What's important here is the resolution of display. That 2560 by 1600 pixels is higher than the Fire Max 11, and is about the same as the Galaxy Tab S8, which is probably its closest rival. Note though, that Google has opted for a 60Hz display, whereas the Samsung device is 120Hz, although we wouldn't say that's a deal breaker. You're likely to spend less time scrolling on your tablet than you are on your phone, but yes, it depends what you do with it. Because of the price, the Pixel tablet is also comparable to the iPad and iPad Air, and shares the 500 nits brightness with Apple's devices. The display supports UC 2.0 stylus interaction, and you can find our selection of the best Pixel tablet style right here. While there's plenty of vibrancy and pop to the colors, with support for HDR10 too, movies look great. images pop, and there's wonderfully high-quality finish to things like apps and widgets. It's a shame that some of the tablet ecosystem just isn't there. While adapted apps like Google Calendar are sharp and luscious, you're only a few clicks away from landing on an app that's just the standard Android version that doesn't really fit and looks terrible on the larger display. More on that later. The Pixel tablet comes with 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, which is quite a lot. That will play a role in elevating the price arguably. A 64 gigabytes version would have made this tablet more approachable. Many people tend to use fewer apps on tablets, and in the world of streaming, people are downloading less too. But if you want a cheaper tablet just for entertainment, you might be better with the Amazon Fire HD 10. The Pixel tablet has a cited battery life of 12 hours of video watching. That accounts for having the brightness at about 80% and streaming 1080p content from YouTube. In my own battery test, I found that a 2-hour video ran the battery down by some 20% at 50% brightness, which would equate to about 10 hours of use. Of course, it depends what you do with your tablet. Ramping up the brightness will deplete it more, but I've typically found no problem getting through several days of intermittent use. Of course, the charging speaker dock means it never runs out. It's always ready to go when you're at home, and for some people that will be the appeal of the dock. It just means you don't have to think about plugging the tablet in. The Pixel tablet launches on Android 13, with the promise of 5 years of Pixel updates. That means you'll get 5 years of security updates, but only 3 years of Android OS updates. That will likely see you through to Android 16 in 2026. But the updating of this tablet should be swift. As this is a Pixel device, you're at the front of the queue rather than the back, and I am expecting Google to push more tablet features as time goes by. Remember that Google is just getting started in its return to larger display support, both on folding phones and tablets. One thing the Pixel tablet natively supports is split screen, and you can just drag up from the bottom to access the recent apps and hit the split screen button, then select your second app. This is an addition to the taskbar, which you can easily access by swiping up quickly from the bottom. The taskbar will auto-populate with apps, so you can tap and go to what you want, and this helps give the tablet some differentiation from larger Android phones. There's a pair of cameras on the Pixel tablet, but don't get too excited. We're not talking smartphone-grade cameras here. Instead, there are 2 matching 8-megapixel cameras. It's unusual to find devices with the exact same camera setup front and back, but Google is perhaps being realistic about what tablet cameras are used for. Hint: this isn't a tablet you should be taking to a school assembly or the zoo to take photos. Yes, I find it irritating when I see people waving around an iPad in public taking photos, and let's not sully the Pixel tablet's name by doing the same thing. The appeal of the Pixel tablet is that it's a Pixel device. Therefore, the bloat-free software and promise of updates means that it will offer a good experience compared to much of the rest of the Android tablet market. And we know that Google has a refreshed interest in larger screens, so it's likely to get better. But at the same time, the Pixel tablet stumbles in a number of areas. It's the same price as an iPad, but the software experience and build quality isn't as good. It's sold with a bundled dock with the idea of docking it, but the docked experience is a little boring, and I wouldn't say that's a reason to buy this device. Get a Nest Hub or Echo Show instead. That makes the Pixel tablet a bit of a mixed bag. We've waited a year for it to arrive, perhaps while Google was trying to decide what it wanted to achieve with it. I'm just not sure if it has decided yet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe, and ring the bell to be informed of our next videos. Until the next video, bye bye.